You're doing really well wherever you are in this right now moment. This is our time to get all spiritual and stuff. So I invite you to, as I get my computer settled, and thank you for those. It's so funny. Thank you for your patience. It's so funny because like I set it up and then I start and I'm like, oh no, let me move it. Anyway, so let's just get comfortable, shall we? I'm taking off my little slippers. They have sparkles on them. And I've learned that the sparkles get everywhere that the slippers get. So I don't like to put them on the sofa, on my seat, my love seat situation. Anyway, get comfortable wherever you are and just take a few breaths and become really present in this right now moment. We have gone into now December, which is such an interesting time in our culture because it's our time that we tend to get busier in many ways. We have deadlines, end of year stuff. If you're in the service industry, you might be getting really, really busy this time of year. Um, it might also be this also juxtaposing time of getting really slow and really still and maybe not going outside as much, maybe not doing as much around your house, maybe wanting to sleep more. So it's this really interesting time of year, and it makes a lot of sense because every day is getting gradually darker and darker and darker and darker longer until the winter solstice, which is at the end of the month. And then it's like the light starts to come back more and more and more and more. So it kind of makes sense that this 1 month would hold both go in, go inside, be cozy, be with yourself, be with your family, and also go out, be in community, go to shindigs, be out, right? So we have both of that going on. So that's why I'm inviting all of us right now to just come into the present moment, into the body with the breath, with clarity in our hearts, clarity in our minds, clarity in our words, and just become present. Sometimes that's the hardest work, I think, is just becoming present, especially when you have other things that you need to do. You know, if you have to do laundry or you have to go to work and you have to buy maybe gifts for the holidays or whatever that is. So just become really present because it's really the only thing that's real anyway. All those deadlines and stuff will be met at the right time, no matter what. Right? They'll get done at some point. The laundry will get done at some point. Right? That to-do list will get checked off at some point, which I actually have a to-do list. And so I don't really write them that often because I can keep a lot in my head, but the list has gotten really long. You might be hearing somebody come in. So, um, so yeah, so it's a really good time to become really present with the body, the breath, and this now moment because, like I said, the to-do lists are always going to be there, right? So, um, in this Christmassy holiday, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa startup time of year, I am curious how y'all are feeling about all of it because this tends to be the time of year where all I want to do is like sleep and rest and kind of hunker down. And it's also the time where it's like I'm having more meetings and more events and more gatherings and more of that. So I'm curious how you all are navigating that. So if you want to comment, which if you do comment, please do, please do, please do, because I go back and I check them out and I love them very much. So um, so something that I wanted to do is to pull one of these cards. I think y'all have seen them before. It is this deck. It is a spirit deck with animals on it. Because I don't know about y'all, but here it's getting a little chilly and we've had some rainy days and I haven't been going outside as much as I would like. So I start to feel really disconnected from the earth. I start to get disconnected from the elements of nature, the animals, the dirt, actually, because when the weather's nice, I tend to go outside a lot and I tend to go for walks a lot. And I'm still going on my walk, but I'm doing it with like my hands bundled in my pockets and trying to keep warm. So I was called to grab this deck. So what I want to do is invite you all to just take a couple deep breaths while I pull a card for all of us. And it'll give us some message that's going to be, that'll pertain to us, right? Because that's just the way it goes. So just feel your heart. This is the one. It's the one. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited about it nonetheless. All right. Okay. So before I get to that, um, something that has been coming up a lot, I think, for a lot of people and for myself, it's this, like I said, it's this time of like a lot of this wanting to be in, wanting to be still, wanting to rest, and at the same time, needing to go, wanting to go, wanting to do. And to find that balance is to me the spiritual path because we are here to rest, to be still, to go inward, to be in the darkness, to be in the shadows, and we're here to create and destroy and be in the light and be going and be active. We're not made to do one or the other for an extended amount of time and leaving the other one in this like short amount of time. Finding that balance is not easy. I'm curious if y'all have ease for that because it's always something that I get to focus on. I've spent most of my life really going hard and producing and creating and networking and go, go, go. I go a lot. I go a lot. And I'm grateful that it's in my DNA that I can without completely burning out. And I also, for me to rest is work. For me to rest is something that I need to be more mindful of. I need to allot time every day for it. Um, and I'm noticing that as this time of year rolls in, it's like it's calling me to rest, and because I don't necessarily honor it as much as I maybe should, I it kind of like I kind of get knocked out. For example, I've been going a lot, had meetings all day yesterday and they were great. I loved every one of them, had clients, it was awesome. And I guess it was around 3 or 4 o'clock, I guess, yeah. um it hit me like a ton of bricks and I was like, oh God, I gotta lay down. Like it hit and I had to lay down immediately. And I set my alarm for like, I don't know, an hour or two. I laid there. I don't know if I dozed off or not, but for maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes. And I got up and I was like, just needed that, right? I just needed that. It's kind of like when your phone runs out of juice and you just plug it in, and sometimes that 30 minutes is really all you need, and then you're like good to go with it. So for me, it's really being more mindful of time and space to get real rest, like turning the phone off, not just resting by like scrolling on my phone, but like putting it away and just getting really still. Because this is a time of year where I can also maybe not do as much as I need, where it's like, oh, I haven't cleaned off that desk in a while and now it's a big messy ball. Anyway, I just looked at my desk and I'm like, ugh, I really do need to clean it up. It's all my papers are everywhere. Anyway, to me, the spiritual path is finding a balance in everything and finding a balance between going and doing, finding a balance between the light and the dark, finding a balance between going inward in stillness and going out and sharing and offering into the world. We're here to do both. And if we do only one or the other, we're going to burn out, right? If we don't do right? Then we'll become really stagnant, and that's how we age, right? If we're not actively lifing and like letting life live through us and feeling life force energy like moving through us, like, oh my God, I'm alive, so fun, then our bodies are like, oh, I guess you don't want to be with me. And so then we start to age. And you can look at people, right? The people that are enjoying life in whatever capacity that looks like. But people, you know these people, and you might be one of them, where they just, or you just, you enjoy life so much. Like you just love waking up. You just love being able to walk outside. You just love being able to have a bird that you get to see in your garden every day. You just love this. You love this thing in your garden, right? You just love that you have a puppy. Like whatever this is, you just love it so much that these people look young. They look vibrant, right? It's because their spirit is active and alive in their body. I mean, our spirits are always alive and active in our body, but you know what I mean. And then you have some people that are like grumble butts, right? You may be one of them. No judgment on either one, right? But people that are just like, life sucks. Life sucks. It's another day. Oh, it's rainy. It's cold out. Man. I'm just miserable because I like to complain about everything. If you look at these people, they actually look older, right? Their life energy, which life energy is it's exciting. It actually vibrates more. So when you look at it on like the atomic level, it's more activated. It's like it moves more than the slow like curmudgeon energy of the Eeyore energy, right? Eeyore energy is going to slow us down, and that's how we age. Who knew that the spiritual path could lead to like eternal life? Oh wait, that's what they talk about in all those texts, isn't it? Hmm. Imagine that. Um, and that like that eternal life thing, like time is forever. We're eternal beings, right? We're energetic, spiritual beings. So it's like, why not live the fullest version of that in our physical? Why not? And I think that oftentimes we give up at some point. I was talking to someone, it doesn't matter who, but I'm just trying to remember who now. Yep, okay. I remembered who now. Doesn't matter. But whatever. Anyway, so I was talking to someone and they were just sharing about certain things in their body and certain aches and certain discomforts and stuff. And their reason was, well, this is just what happens when you get older. Once you hit certain ages, this is just what happens. And I thought, no, not for me. No, that's not. When trees grow bigger, they get stronger. When trees get older, they get stronger. When trees get older, they become more able to bear more fruit, right? Serve more shade, offer more shade, hold more life in it. Like, as the trees get older, they don't become weak and decrepit. I know I'm not a tree, but like, it's a life energy, it's its own consciousness. It's not thinking about, oh, well, I'm getting old. I guess I'm just going to break down. I mean, eventually it does. That's the cycle of life. Like, I get that. We're going to do that too. But to feel the feeling of that type of like, woe is me, I've reached this age, so I got to give up on that. Now I've reached this age, and so I'm just going to believe that my body's going to break down. That's so disheartening. That's so disheartening that dims this like light within, and then we start to age. Then our body's like, all right, I guess you're done with me. You believe that I'm going to start breaking now, and you're not really happy that I'm here with you. So okay, I guess I'll leave soon. So to me, that's that space of finding this balance of being able to enjoy being able to rest, enjoy going and doing, enjoy when our body feels good, and enjoy when our body doesn't feel good, as opposed to when our body doesn't feel good to be like, oh God, it doesn't feel good. I'm totally screwed. That's not fun, y'all. I wouldn't recommend that. And yet, it's what we do in our culture because we have all these commercials that are like, do you have a boo boo? Well, let's put all these pharmaceuticals on it. until we say you're better. And it's like, oh, that isn't even real. But anyway, the magical healing of the body, I'm telling you, it's a thing. But I digress. So, um, yeah, I feel like this is just a time of year to really become present and aware of our mindset around what we're thinking and what we're doing. Like, to me, it's a really important time to to me it feels like, when your car goes in for like whatever big tune up thing at X many miles, and it's like it's the equivalent to like taking a month out of the year to like detail your car, get the engine checked, check, rotate, new tires, whatever. Like, you do the whole shebang on your car, and you know that by doing that, you're going to get at least another solid year, like waxing it and everything, right? You're going to get a whole other year of like, you're golden. So if you all of a sudden want to take a road trip somewhere, you know that your car is safe, right? You can do it. It has the energy, it's good, right? To me, that's what this month is. To me, that's what December is really good for. It's taking this body and being like, okay, what do we need? Okay, well, we need to rest. We need to give a good wax. you know, Maybe it's you go to a spa. I don't know. You take a bath. Um, you know, you do more breath work. It's like putting air in your tires, right? You make sure your fluids are good in the car. So maybe you drink more water, more hot teas, more lemon water in the morning, because now's the time, like I mentioned, I think last time, where we eat a lot of sugar. So like getting a lot of these fluids in to help flush the body. When they flush the whatever systems in the car, kind of like that, making sure that we get enough fiber and like these things that literally help to clear out our system, right? And to rest. We can't service the car if we're driving laps, right? You got to take the car to the shop. The car means it's not going to be. It means that the car is not going to be used. Same with us. We got to rest. Sometimes that means that we just got to maybe take a nap, or go to bed earlier, or meditate more, um, journal more. These things where we're stopping this gotta go, gotta do, gotta think. And the inverse of that is, if you're only spending your time, say, in meditation or in stillness or at nap time, and you're really not doing much, this is a time um, to do more, right? It's not a time to just stop. Like, it's like, if you flush all the things in the car, in this car analogy, and you do all this work on the car, you gotta. There have been times when I've taken my car in to get serviced, and they'll like drive it around for a little bit to make sure that all that they did is working well, right? So it's kind of that same thing. We still have to like go for walks, still lift weights, still get that resistance in, still sweat, still be active and mobile in our bodies, and still use our minds to expand it, right? To read books or to learn something new, to watch a documentary. So we still need to make sure that we're going and doing, because otherwise, what's the point of servicing the car if it's just going to sit there, right? You got to move this. You got to move the fluids through the engine. So that's what this time of year is to me. It's where we get this time to really check ourselves before we have that check engine light come on, because when that light comes on, that's when you're like, oh man, I guess I should have changed that oil sooner, right? So we don't have to wait till that check engine light comes on. We can just go ahead and do that own check-in. So doing that for the body, doing it for the mind, and doing it for the spirit. The spirit's a really important part. That's our connection with love, our own inner peace, our own inner guidance, our own inner truth, love and compassion for all. And also being able to step into boundaries, to be able to say, no, that does not align for me, to speak up for what our needs are, to not hold people in resentment if they can't meet our needs, but understand that not everyone is able to meet all of our needs, and that's okay. Not everyone is made to meet our needs. We are made to meet our own needs. We can ask for support, we can ask for help, and it may come and it may not, but that's okay, because we got this, you got this. So that's that spiritual part of this year. And it's so interesting because so many people are around their family and stuff this time of year. I've talked to so many people who are like, yeah, I had to put up boundaries. And I'm like, yeah, me too. You know, like some people whose parents are like bending over backward for them to visit them, and the people are like, but every time we go, they're mean to me. They abuse me whenever I go. But yet they're like, come and visit, come and visit. So these people are having to learn to say no, or we want to see you, but we're not going to drink with you. So it's a really interesting time to start navigating these boundaries of grace and with grace with other people. Our families are always a great way to do it, any relationship, right? With our friends or whatever. So this time of year, happy December, check engine, right? Check in with you, do your overhaul, get your rest, and clean out your system, right? I want to check what this card is. What animal was this? Oh, it's the otter. Look. Look at that baby. Y'all, I was looking out the window the other morning. I woke up and it was like, it was the rainy, we had a rainy morning, I don't know, a few days ago or whatever. And like, I was like in the morning, blinky eyes open, like everything's still a little fuzzy because my eyes hadn't adjusted to like being open. And every morning, first thing I do is I go to one of my altars and it like looks in the direction of the east and there's a big oak tree. So I like say good morning to the oak and usually a squirrel on it and the sun and the sky. Like I have my moment. Anyway, so that morning I was like, what is that? That's a giant squirrel. And I looked down and it was this big possum all wet because it was raining. And I was like, hey, little buddy, welcome. Go get some shelter. Anyway, I know it's not an otter, but they remind me of each other. So let's see what this otter spirit says. It says you're never alone. Which, can I just talk about that for a second? You know, I think that during this time of year, a lot of us want to be around friends, we want to be around family, or maybe we want to be alone, right? And either way, it's like this checking on the car thing. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish somebody would just like take this car in for me and get it serviced and bring it back. And so, like, all the fluids are changed, all the tires are rotated, the gas tank is full, and it's got a new coat of wax on it. Like, I would I ask for that, like for my physical car, my vehicle, as well as for me. Like, can somebody just like take me in and just like, y'all remember on The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy went to go see the Oz and like they put her and the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Lion through that thing where they all got like primped and pampered and like cleaned up? Kind of wish somebody would do that for me. I'm not gonna lie. But here's the thing: we can't wait for that, right? We can't wait for someone to do that for us. We can't wait for someone to fill our cup for us. We get to do this for ourselves. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes we have to ask for help. Hey, I can't fill up this cup. Can you help? Right? You just got to make sure you're asking the person that's got enough to spare, right? Don't ask people with empty cups because that's never going to work out. Anyway, otter spirit, you're never alone. Look, it's so cute. I just want to. What's going to eat it? I'm not really going to eat an otter. Anyway, it says, like true friends, otters nurture each other and express their affection through touch. Actions such as holding hands and giving hugs offer reassurance that we are never really alone and that we're always cherished. Otter Spirit has appeared to remind you to experience and express friendship in a tangible and even tactile way. Communicate with your voice, your facial expressions, your gestures, and your actions, letting your love express itself beyond just words you speak. Otter Spirit's message is that presence matters, so remember to be fully present with those you care about, helping them sense the love and affection and appreciation you have for them. Now is a time for joyful celebration of the love in your life that expresses as friendship and companionship. Hug someone, touch their arm, or simply look into their eyes with your full attention, saying, I care, you matter. Make time for friendship. Otter Spirit promises that the moment you reach out, you will remember that you too have many who love and care about you. You're never alone. You're always loved. That's some truth. I've spent so much time these past couple weeks with like friends and people that I love so much and that love me. And like we actually Been very good. It's a good time of year for that. Um, Ooh, I'm curious if this resonates for anyone. It says, have you been channeling all your affection to just one person or counting on only one friend or individual to hold you up, heedless of your resources all around you? You deserve support and love from many people, and when Otter Spirit arrives, you're reminded that you have a community. Somewhere is another friend who wants to experience the joy of giving to you and seeing your happiness as you retrieve their gift of attention, affection, and kindness. Otter Spirit wants you to open your eyes and see the love that is available to you from all directions. Do you believe it? Do you feel it? Reach out to someone and you'll see that they want to hold your hand as much as you want to hold theirs. Love, support, and friendship are available to you, so connect with community and friends. Well, that's some truth. That's the thing. I feel like this time of year we're so busy on like work or sleep that we forget the true connection with people, because I feel like a lot of people do like obligatory connections. Um, it's like, yeah, people will do stuff out of obligation. It's like I have some people in my life that I never talk to except on holidays. They reach out. Like why? Like why reach out on a holiday? Why reach out on Thanksgiving, right? Of all the days. Why reach out on a day that white people came and took brown people's land? To tell me what? Right? Like, what's the point? Why not reach out on like a Thursday? Just be like, hey, I care about you. You matter, right? So doing things out of the obligation doesn't feel the same, right? But to reach out to someone just because you care and to allow others to reach out to us just because they care, right? No obligation. They have enough in their cup to give. That's a part of that balance, right? That balance of the light and the dark. It's also about giving and receiving, which I'll talk more about that maybe next week. Because, it's that season where we just want to give so much, and yet we need to receive a lot right now. A lot of us need to receive a lot right now. So maybe we can take this next week and this weekend. Oh, I got to yawn and burp at the same time. That was so weird. There was the burps. I was like, what's happening? Anyway, so maybe we can take this weekend and the next week to just become really mindful and present. That was the burp. Oh, weird. Okay. Mindful and present to our state of being in the now moment, right? So becoming present in the now and asking myself, what do I need? Do I need to move my body or do I need to rest? Do I need to give or do I need to receive? Do I need to reach out or does someone need to reach out to me? Do I need support or can I offer support? Like keep checking in with you and ask you what you need, right? Do you need that darkness and that rest and that introspection, or do you need exertion, outward energy, right? And just ask yourself these things, because oftentimes we'll just get in a habit, right? Because we're just so accustomed to go, 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 or we're just so accustomed to just sleeping all the time. So asking ourselves, what do we need in the now moment, or what would be in the highest good for me? How could I be of more service? How can I love the world more? What do I need to love more? What about that? That's a great question. What do I need right now so that I can love more? So I can have more balance and harmony in my life in love. And just like listen for that answer. You'll let yourself know. It's kind of like if you turn your car on, you turn the music down and you just listen to it, you'll tell if it needs something, right? If you go around and you check the tire pressure with the gauge, you'll know what it needs. You just got to check in, right? It's like when it rains, if you go out there and you look at it and you notice that the water's not beating up, maybe you need a coat of wax, right? Also, I really would like someone to just like take my car one day and like do the whole thing, like rotate the tires, get it waxed, get cleaned, waxed, like get a tune up, like one of those like however many mile things that they do, like all of that. That I would love that. God, that would be so good. These are the Christmas gifts that I want, right? Like what do you want for Christmas? I would love someone to take my car and to service it so much that when it's brought back, it's like new. A gift certificate to the dentist. That's what else I would need. What do you want for Christmas? Let me know in the comments. Like, if you could just ask the universe or anything, and whether you get it or not, right? No expectations. But if will you write that in the comments? Like, if what do you want for the holidays, whether you celebrate it or not? Like, no expectations. A trip to Fiji. I don't care. What do you want for the holidays? Okay. I'm so grateful for y'all for being here and tuning in and becoming more present with you and finding your path to love and light because it's a never ending path and we can always have more of it on this earth plane. So every time you do the work for more love and light in your life, you're literally adding it to the earth for all. So I appreciate it. I know it's not necessarily the easiest path, and sometimes we have to release stuff that we don't necessarily want to release, but it's just making space for better stuff. So I love you so much and happy December. So enjoy your resting, enjoy your going and doing, and I will see you all